Mark was a normal man. He was a father. He was a husband. He was a project manager at a small company. His phone was his connection to everything important in his life. He used it for work emails. He used it for video calls with his family. It held photos of his daughter's first steps. It held photos of his last vacation. The phone was more than just a device. It was a part of his daily routine. He trusted it completely. It was always there. It was always ready to help him connect. It was always ready to help him work. It was always ready to help him remember. He never thought much about the data it held. It was always safely in his pocket. His phone's battery was draining much faster than usual. By lunchtime, it was flashing a low battery warning. He had barely used it all morning. He had done just a few quick checks for messages. He plugged it in, thinking the battery was getting weak. Later that day, a friend sent him a text. "Why did you send me that weird link on social media?" Mark was confused. He had not been on social media all day. He opened the app and saw a strange post on his timeline with a link he did not recognize. A small seed of worry began to grow. He dismissed it at first. A glitch, a mistake. Maybe he had accidentally clicked something without realizing it. But then more things started to happen. His phone felt sluggish, struggling to open even simple apps. He saw a notification for a new app being installed. One he didn't know. He quickly canceled the download. Many people feel just like Mark when their technology acts strangely. Our phones are not just for making calls anymore. They are small, powerful computers we carry everywhere. They hold our most private and precious information. Text conversations with loved ones, personal photo albums, work documents. They also have our contact lists, names and numbers of every friend, family member, colleague we know. This makes them a central hub for our entire lives, a digital key that unlocks many different doors. Because phones hold so much valuable data, they attract people who want to steal information. These attackers aren't always looking for state secrets or corporate plans. Often they want things that seem small but are very powerful. Before the attack on Mark's phone even began, the attacker had a clear set of goals in mind. The primary objective was not just to cause chaos. The attacker wanted specific outcomes that would benefit them. First, gain access to Mark's personal communications. Read his private text messages. Read his emails. Read his direct messages on social media. From those messages, they'd learn about his relationships. Learn his daily schedule. Find any sensitive information he shared. Next, access Mark's personal media. Our phones are modern photo albums, holding years of memories. See his photos, see his videos. Those images could include personal moments, pictures of family members, or documents he photographed, like a driver's license or a bill. That visual data can enable identity theft, fake profiles, embarrassment, or blackmail. Then, actively use Mark's accounts. Take control of his social media and email. The attack did not begin with a piece of code. It began with a person. The attacker first needed to find a suitable target. In this case, they chose Mark. Why him? The attacker did not know Mark personally. They found him through his online activity. Mark was active on several social media platforms where his profile was public. He often shared updates about his life. He shared posts about his job. He posted about his interests. He posted pictures from his family vacation. He mentioned the city where he lived. He even shared posts from his company's public page, which made his workplace easy to identify. This process of gathering information is simple and requires no special tools. The attacker just needed to watch and listen. They carefully reviewed Mark's public posts over a few weeks. Each small piece of shared information helped the attacker build a detailed profile of Mark. This was not hacking. It was simple observation. Section 5. Step 2. Crafting the perfect bait. Once the attacker had enough information about Mark, the next step was to create the bait. This is the part of the attack that Mark would actually see. The attacker needed a message so convincing Mark would click without a second thought. This message is called a lure. It tempts the target into taking a specific action. The attacker decided to create a fake email. They found Mark's employer from his public posts. That company name was the key. They made the email look like it came from the company's human resources. They used the company logo copied from the website. The subject line, urgent, action required for your 2025 benefits enrollment. It created urgency. Time sensitive, important. The email used formal language and addressed Mark by his full name. Inside was a short paragraph asking employees to review benefits by end of day. It warned failure might result in loss of coverage. The message created fear and pressure. At the bottom was a large button. Click here to access your portal. That button was the lure, a malicious link controlled by the attacker. They counted on him not checking the sender's address. It was slightly different. They also counted on the professional look of the email. Section 6. Step 3. The critical click and the silent entry. The email arrived in Mark's inbox in the middle of a busy workday. He was juggling multiple tasks, and his attention was divided. He saw the subject line about his benefits and felt a small jolt of pressure. He knew it was something he needed to take care of. The email looked exactly like the official communications he usually received from his company. He scanned the text quickly, noting the deadline. Without giving it much thought, he moved his cursor over the button that said, "Click here to access your portal," and clicked it. In that single, simple moment, the attack was successful. The click did not take him to his company's benefits portal. Instead, it sent a tiny, invisible command from the attacker's server to Mark's phone. For a split second, a blank page loaded in his browser, and then it redirected him to his company's real public homepage. This was a clever trick designed to prevent him from getting suspicious. He might have thought the link was broken, or that he had been logged out. He made a mental note to deal with it later when he had more time. He closed the browser and went back to his work, completely unaware that anything had gone wrong. That one click was all the attacker needed. It did not steal his password right away. Section 7. Step 4. Gaining control from the shadows. With the malicious software now running on Mark's phone, the attacker had a foothold. This software acted like a secret agent, hidden deep within the phone's operating system. It ran silently in the background, using very little power or memory to avoid detection. Mark did not see a new app icon on his screen. He did not get any notifications. The software was designed to be completely invisible to the average user. Its first job was to establish a persistent connection back to a computer controlled by the attacker. This connection was like a secret tunnel, allowing the attacker to send and receive data from Mark's phone. From their own computer, thousands of miles away, the attacker could now send quiet commands to the phone. These were not commands that Mark would see. They were low-level instructions that the phone's operating system would execute. The attackers started by exploring the device. They sent a command to get a list of all the files on the phone. They saw folders for photos, downloads, documents. Section 8. What Mark saw and how he felt. The signs of the takeover started small, but they grew more noticeable over time. The first thing Mark consistently noticed was that his phone's battery was draining incredibly fast. He would charge it to 100% before work, but by early afternoon, it would be nearly dead. Hidden software was constantly running, using power to collect data and communicate with the attacker. His phone also started to feel warm to the touch, another sign the processor was working overtime on hidden tasks. He just assumed his phone was getting old. Then, the strange messages started. His friends began contacting him about odd links. His family did the same. The attacker was using his profiles to spread the malicious link across his network. Mark would frantically delete the posts, but new ones kept appearing a few hours later. Apps began opening and closing by themselves. He would see his email app open on its own, or his web browser navigate to pages he did not recognize. It felt like someone else was controlling his phone remotely. Confusion turned into deep anxiety and fear. Section 9. Your Guide to Digital Safety. If you ever find yourself in a situation like Mark's, there are immediate steps you can take to limit the damage. The first and most important action is to disconnect the device from the internet. You can do this by turning on airplane mode or by turning the phone off completely. This severs the connection the attacker is using to control your device and steal your data. Once the phone is offline, You must use a different, trusted device, like a family member's computer or a new phone, to change your most important passwords immediately. Start with your email, banking, social media accounts. After securing your accounts, it is crucial to inform your contacts. Let your friends, family, and colleagues know that your phone and accounts have been compromised. Warn them not to click on any links or respond to any strange messages that appear to come from you. This helps prevent the attack from spreading to others. You should also review your financial accounts for any unauthorized activity. If you see any suspicious transactions, contact your bank or credit card company right away to report the fraud and freeze your accounts. Finally, performing a factory reset on the compromised phone will erase all its data, including the malicious software. Of course, the best strategy is to prevent an attack from ever happening. You can greatly increase your security by adopting a few simple, powerful habits. First, always think before you click. Be suspicious of any unexpected messages that create a sense of urgency or ask you to click a link or download a file. Second, keep your phone's operating system and all your apps updated. These updates often contain critical security patches that fix vulnerabilities. Third, use strong, unique passwords for every important account and enable two-factor authentication, wherever possible. To further protect yourself, only install apps from official sources, like the Apple App Store or Google Play Store. Be mindful of the permissions that apps request. An app for a simple game should not need access to your contacts or microphone. Regularly back up your important data to a secure cloud service or an external drive. This ensures that if you ever need to factory reset your phone, you will not lose your precious photos and files. By taking these calm, measured steps, you transform yourself from a potential target into a difficult one.